special food of Pengcheng is very different from other places. A bowl of Longjiang pork feet rice, eat out of the romance of men. When workers leave work in the evening or at noon, they go into the store and pay 15 yuan for a bowl of rice with pig's feet. And if they are willing to spend 5 yuan more, they can add a chicken leg. But these customers, mostly assembly line workers in blue factory uniforms, are not so generous. Only those wearing glasses and plaid shirts, often add a chicken leg, slowly nibble up. Our family is indigenous to Shenzhen. My father rented out the family's building in the early years, and fell leisurely. From the age of 12, I worked part-time on weekends in the restaurant owned by my eldest uncle's family. My father said my IQ is not high, afraid that in the future, even the rent collection problems, so he let me work as a fellow in the store to exercise. Most of these patrons are the bottom of the fight workers. There is no good face. It is difficult to make all people happy. Only Cheems to the store can make a few laughs.
Hey, Cheems, are you really a bachelor's degree holder?
Cheems looked at the person who asked him and showed a disdainful look.
Well, how do you earn less than the old Wang, the head puller of the specialist?
Cheems immediately showed a disheveled and upset look, with a layer of gray on his face, argued, "You do not always dwell on these useful?" Then came the difficult words, "What is more than treatment than the more narrow-minded?" Speaking of dedication, the higher the realm, the crowd was led to laugh, the store inside and outside filled with the air of pleasure. Listen to people talk behind the scenes. Cheems' original is also a formal computer undergraduate, into a period of time into the master of the big factory, but he cannot stand 996, CPU, small and large week, shift transfer, KPI assessment, and do not know how to cater to superiors. The results of the body soon after joining to boil down, cannot work overtime. He was graduated. Fortunately, he was able to read a few books, so he gave people as tutors, but he has a bad temper. To give people's children do not lecture properly. All talk about some of the test is not tested. Irrelevant, as a few times, the parents looking for his tutoring will not. One day, about 2 or 3 days before the Mid-Autumn Festival, Uncle was slowly brining the pig's feet when he suddenly said, "Cheems hasn't been here for a long time, still owe a pig's feet rice money. I just also think he did not come for a long time."
How could he come? He's in debt again.
Oh.
He always still goes to gambling and cheating. This time, is himself fainting, surprisingly looking for people to go into P2P together. These things, is it possible to touch?
Later how?
How? First, the P2P lightning boss ran away, all the P2P were banned, and then a large group of people blocked him at home to fight. The police have come to his home.
And then what?
What? Who knows? Maybe he was caught and maybe was killed.
Uncle also no longer asked, still slowly calculate his accounts. After mid-autumn, the autumn breeze is a day cooler than the day, see nearly early winter. I also need to put on a thick jacket. The second half of the day, there was no customer. I was sitting with my eyes closed. Suddenly I heard a voice. "A bowl of rice with pig's feet, pack it up and take it away." Although the voice was extremely low, it sounded familiar. Standing up and looking out, Cheems was already standing on the threshold. His face is black and thin, no longer look like. Hanging on the face of the glasses are spent and broken. Plaid shirt cannot be seen to wear. Outside is a yellow takeaway clothes, seeing me, and said,
"A pig's feet rice, packaged."
Uncle said, "Cheems, you also a meal money it." Cheems very decadent mumbling, "This, next time to pay off, this time is someone else brought, to be hot." Uncle still smiled as usual and said to him, "Cheems, you go to deliver." But this time he didn't argue very much and said, "Don't make fun of it." "Making fun, if you're not a delivery boy, why are you dressed like that?" Cheems whispered, "Buy the clothes, buy. His eyes, very much like a plea to the shopkeeper, "Do not mention again." At this time there has gathered a few people. Then and Uncle are laughing. I packed a pig's foot rice, handed him, he took the wine, and then in the bystanders' jokes, slowly walked away.
Citizens, please note that a typhoon is expected to make landfall tonight, accompanied by exceptionally heavy rain. though residents are requested not to go out unless necessary.
It's already late, and it's raining heavily outside. Aren't you going to bed yet?
Mom, I'm reading the text and completing the preview homework.
Oh, you're reading Kongiji written by Mr. Lu Sun. What is this text about?
It is about a story about Kongiji who happened in a tavern. Kongiji was a very pitiful person, and of course, he also had many of his own problems. I hope to help him when I grow up.
James, I'm glad to hear that you want to help others, but now the most important thing is to learn knowledge and develop a regular routine to maintain a healthy body. After previewing homework, go to bed early.
Okay, Mom.
Cheems. Are you planning to give up? It's too difficult to continue walking. When I was in school, I pitted Kong Iji and despised him. But now, I have become Kong Iji. If I hadn't gone to college, I could have gone to deliver food and twisted screws at the factory with peace of mind, but unfortunately, I didn't. I have been studying hard for many years to obtain an education, but in the end, it was just a tired long shirt. When I climbed up, they said my long shirt was not gorgeous enough and refused me. When I sank to the bottom, the people around me thought my long shirt was a gimmick. They mocked me and slandered me.
The era I lived in was turbulent and chaotic. I lament the misfortune of the people of my country. I anger them for not arguing. I abandon medicine and follow literature. The article I wrote was judged meaningless by the so-called secluded literary researchers who hid in books. Feared by the warlords in power, and criticized by the imperial literati who acted as helpers for the tiger, I write for those Chinese people with conscience, but how many of them can see it, and how much help can my article give them? My career has many difficulties and obstacles. But I still persist in writing and never give up. Cheems, you have been working hard for a long time and it shouldn't be you who gave up. Keep moving forward, Cheems. This is the life full of contradictions. This is our path full of thorns.